How's it going, Laser Brucers? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. Now, I've decided in this episode we're going to go through and we're going to try and finish off our deaths out here, pick off these ones, get these done. You never know, we might get some new words out of it. It's always a death that gets us a word, like that one, you know, her, aspera, etc. And we'll see if we can figure out why this one here isn't any further, if we can figure out how to get further here. And that'll be it for this episode. I'll only show you the new stuff, and then the next one will kick off on the girls' side. So for now, we're going to go to make 10 and see if we can die, I guess. Just not Sora. Anyone but Sora. I'll bring you back when something happens. Alright. We can sacrifice ourselves. We'll just do that and see what happens. Last time we paired with Katashi and Shizuka. So we can do Beatrix and Nicholas as well, but let's sacrifice ourselves. And see what happens. It's been so long since we did this bit right back here that I didn't even remember. It suddenly dawned on me that I was so preoccupied with all the petty squabbling and the uncertainty over whether or not I should trust the right person, I never considered alternative possibilities. No matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, I knew in my heart that I would never truly fit in on the Everett. These people have years of history together. All they had were rusty social skills and a fragile hope that they would accept me. A hope that was crumbling with every passing minute. I was not one of them. Their weary glances in the hall, the way their voices fell to a hush when I drew near. I felt an ache, a keen ache in my heart as I realized that these people, these strangers, would never be able to fill the void inside me that begged for companionship and closeness. It would be better for everyone if I just ended it now. Sacrificing myself would give them another week of peace. I would neither be missed nor mourned. Better me than someone that actually mattered, right? I would need help from someone in order to complete my plan. I approached the only person who I thought would understand. Sora, the navigation officer. Vladimir and Sora stood huddled around a wide-eyed Melody, cushioning her from the surrounding chaos. She smiled as I approached her. Approached their circle with a little wave of my hand. Hello.
Hello. Melody, say hello.
Hello.
Hello, hey Melody. Is there a chance I could see your mum for a moment? I could use some advice about this whole situation.
Of course. It must be difficult for you, not really knowing anyone here.
Yeah, well, that's what I'd like to talk about. Sora and I walked a little way out down the hall, far enough for the others that we could speak freely without fear of being overheard.
What's on your mind?
I hate to ask, but I need you to do me a favor, please. You're the only person on this whole ship that I can trust.
What do you need me to do?
I took a deep breath to calm myself before replying. I need to give you my card.
What? Why would you do that?
Sora's sharp exclamation and panicked expression drew the scrutiny of everyone in the hallway. Vladimir looked particularly concerned. Sora repeated her question, this time in a whisper. Why would you do that? Because I don't belong here. I've never felt so alone in my entire life. No one here will ever accept me. I don't want to live my life as an outsider. Give them time, they'll come around. It's not just that. I'm the cause of this whole ridiculous game to begin with. It's my fault. So I should be the one to pay the price. I know that my death probably won't stop the deletion game. At the very least, I could try and atone for the pain I've caused. Please, I'm begging you. Let me do this. Okay, I'll help. Vladimir knows that I have no reason to go in, and I don't want to worry him. Sora rejoined her family, pointed down the hallway and gave her husband a kiss on the cheek. Vladimir bent down and allowed Melody to climb up onto her shoulders. From her perch atop her dad's shoulders, Melody reached up and touched the ceiling as the two of them headed off down the hallway. There, all done. Let's do it before we get back. Die, Jordan. I wish... So I'm having to skip because they're saying different lines, and I don't... They've said that there are spoilers in the voice lines when they're wrong sometimes. So I'm just skipping them to make sure it doesn't happen, and I will cut them out completely when I'm editing in post. If there's anything that I don't think you should hear that would spoil anything. Okay? So don't worry. You have 10 minutes to complete the transaction. We heard that. We entered the room. Sora moved to the primary terminal. I have to be at the primary terminal to give you my card. There's also a take button here. I know that I'll give you control over the primary terminal in case you try and steal my card from me, but you understand, right? It's just a precaution. Oh no, that's fine then. I didn't realize there was a take button. I placed my hand down on one of the other terminals, all while racking my brain trying to recall Dai's explanation of the primary terminal. Can we hurry this up? I want to be out of here before Vladimir figures out what we're up to. Sorry. The sensation of placing my hand on something that wasn't physically there felt very surreal. I've been expecting to feel a slight electric vibration when I placed my palm against its surface, but there was nothing. My terminal beeped as my handprint was verified as my own. The terminal changed to display my name and card number, a lonely 5. On my screen I saw the word "give" light up. What are you doing?
Congratulations! Your transaction has been completed.
Did she just die?
Will occur in 12 minutes.
What did you do? Sora gave me a sweet, sad smile. I gave you my card. What? Why? I lied, there's no take button. I'm actually surprised you fell for that. After all, your parents were geniuses. Why the hell did you give me your card? I wanted to sacrifice myself. Don't you understand? This is my chance for redemption. Sora whipped around. You listen here. I may not know you all that well, but I did know your parents. They were the most brilliant people I've ever met. And I've met a lot more people in my lifetime than you. If you're even half as smart as they were, you're the key to ending this nightmare. I can't. This is all my fault. You should just let me die.
Don't you dare give me that nonsense, young man. If you really, truly believe that this is your fault, then you have a duty to do everything in your power to stop it.
Sora paused, her face softening into a compassionate smile.
Your life is only just starting.
Seems to have sorted itself
You
out.
have so much more to offer this ship. This mission. More than you could possibly realize. I owe it to your parents to give you that opportunity. And I owe it to my daughter to give her the best chance of survival. I make this sacrifice in exchange for a promise. Save her. Save my daughter from this hell. Please.
Sora restrained a sob.
Please. Please.
I promise I'll do everything in my power to save her. Tears welled up in Sora's eyes at my words. In that moment, I finally realized my purpose aboard the Everett. I had to stop this depraved game at any cost.
Thank you.
Sora closed the distance between us and wrapped her arms around me in a fierce hug. She buried her head in my shoulder, whispering thank you all the while. There were no words that could probably express my gratitude to her at that moment, so I wordlessly hugged her back just as tightly. Sora squeezed me one last time before letting go. She paused for a moment to wipe her eyes and took a deep breath to compose herself before heading out. Having done so, she strode through the dining hall door with as much of her usual cheerfulness as she could muster.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop!
So this has gone back to normal again.
Attention, attention! This round of the Deletion Game has come to an end. All participants...
Alright, well we need to skip then. Pair with Beatrix and Nicholas. I made up my mind. I could pair up with Beatrix and Nicholas. So the first ones to approach me, and despite the captain's warning, I had no choice but to trust them. Nicholas and Beatrix stood at the end of the hall, engaged in a private conversation. Hey Beatrix, Nicholas, does your offer to combine still stand? I've decided that I want in.
We knew we could rely on you. No one as charming as you could possibly betray us. Isn't that right, brother?
Nicholas nodded in reply.
We're glad you're on board. All we need to do is perform one little transaction. Then we can go and relax. It'll all be over soon.
I know this is a weird question given that we're about to put our lives in each other's hands, but I've heard rumors that you two might not be telling the whole truth.
That bitch! It was the captain, wasn't it? That's just like her. She's so desperate, she'll stoop to sabotaging other players' chances by casting aspersions against their character. If barging in there didn't forfeit my place in the game, I would go and give her a piece of my mind and my fist while I'm at it. Right square in her face.
Well, sorry I brought it up.
Beatrix and Kimiko don't exactly have the best relationship. But never fear, friend. We didn't spend 4 days slaving over you just to get you killed 3 days later. You're right to put your faith in us.
The moment the door whooshed open, my arm nearly shot out of its socket as it was yanked down the hall by Beatrix, running at full sprint. Nicholas was surprisingly fast, fending off anyone who wished to initiate a transaction by using his lengthy lab coat as a makeshift barricade. When push came to shove, the Vogels meant business.
Very well. Please enter. You'll have 10 minutes
We're
to
gonna
complete
die.
your transaction, at which time you will be forcibly removed from the dining room.
As soon as we entered the room, the door closed behind us with a loud metallic clang. Nicholas strode up to the primary terminal, placed his hands on the holographic display and waited for us to take places at the other terminals. Couldn't we have at least discussed who should be in control of the primary terminal?
It doesn't particularly matter for this type of transaction. Combining cards is our only available option here. Trading and giving are both limited to one-on-one transactions.
I guess you're right.
Let's get on with it, shall we? We only have 10 minutes.
I made my way over the secondary terminal opposite Beatrix. Once I stepped in front of the terminal, the front and side walls prevented me from seeing anything. All of my attention was focused on the screen. Whatever happened here would determine my future. The sensation of placing my hand on something that wasn't physically there felt surreal. I had been expecting to feel a slight electric vibration when I placed my palm against the surface, but there was nothing. My terminal beeped as my handprint was verified as my own. The terminal screen changed, displaying the name and card number, a lonely 5. On my screen I could see the word combine light up as it was selected. In a moment the readout changed to 5 plus Beatrix plus Nicholas, and it was done. We were officially allied.
Congratulations! Your transaction has been completed. Judgment will occur in 44 minutes. Thank you for participating in the Deletion Game.
We exited the dining hall beneath the withering, judgmental stares of the other players. For some reason I couldn't bring myself to meet Kimiko's gaze.
Thank you. We appreciate your help.
Beatrix winked at me slyly.
We owe you one, sailor.
Glad we could help each other out.
Try to get some rest. Doctor's orders. We'll see you at Judgment.
I wasn't sure how he expected me to rest, considering how little time we had left before the final results were announced.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop! Ahem.
Di's voice thundered through the ship. I froze. The moment we'd all been dreading had finally arrived.
You'd all better hurry. I'm not going to wait to announce the results, you know.
I closed my eyes, inhaled and exhaled deeply, as I was ready as I was ever going to be.
It's judgment time, everyone. If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later. In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores. After all, what's done is done.
My heart was pounding so hard against the inside of my chest that it threatened to burst into pieces at any moment. Shallow, rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
Ooh, I'm just so excited for you all to find out the results. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
We got 18? Holy crap, time seemed to slow as a hold as I read the scoreboard in terror. Blood rushed through my eardrums, drowning out all sound. My body grew cold and numb as I discovered how it felt to be betrayed for the first time in my life. I had the lowest number on the board. I was gonna die. But wait, we have 18.
We only just met him. We can't lose our new friend already.
You're an idiot. Nicholas put his hand on my shoulder and leaned in close. I was too shocked to react. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. I could feel his breath in my ear as he whispered.
I'd say it was nothing personal, but that would be a lie. You killed our father. Now you'll get the punishment you deserve.
Nicholas meandered back to his sister, whose eyes never left mine. His lips were contorted into a demented smirk.
Congratulations, everybody! You'll all live to fight again. Everybody except the new guy, that is. As the loser of round 2, you must now submit yourself to the method of execution of my choosing. Let's
That's what I was going for.
fatality to see what gruesome punishment lies in store for you. Ooh, I can hardly wait.
With a flourish, Di conjured a sizable holographic wheel split up into labelled sections. I barely got a chance to read all of them before Di passed judgment. Gravity, airlock, oxygen, incineration, and spacewalk. Each one sounded more ominous than the last. We've seen them all before, come on. Within seconds, Di gave the wheel a hefty spin and the sections of wheel blurred into one another.
Make it a long, slow one, won't you?
My eyes are fixed on the wheel as it gradually slowed, ticking its way to a standstill, as the arrow circled the dial, finally coming to rest on...
Incineration.
Same as Sora, makes sense. Please, no, anything but that.
Perfect. Well done.
No time like the present. Let's head on down to the furnace room, shall we?
I won't go, I won't.
Feel free to refuse, but for every second you push the issue, I'll be decreasing the amount of oxygen flowing into the room.
It's a hollow threat because you can't kill the captain.
With that in mind, could we speed things along a bit? Any
As you
help
know.
here would be greatly appreciated.
Beatrix shot forward and clamped her hands around my wrists like a vice-like grip, catching me completely off guard. I struggled to free myself from her grasp, but Nicholas soon followed his sister's lead, grabbing hold of my arms and twisting them behind my back. He thrust me towards the door and proceeded to frog march me down to the furnace room at a brisk pace. I fought against Nicholas's iron grip the whole way down to the furnace room. Even when faced with my own imminent death, an instinctive primal urge to survive prevented me from giving in. It didn't matter if I knew Nicholas was stronger, I was desperate, fighting for my life with the ferocity of a wounded beast. Cowed, but still dangerous. It didn't take long for us to arrive at the furnace room. No amount of kicking or screaming had managed to slow our progress. Nicholas threw open the glass door, shoved me unceremoniously into the scorching heat of the fire, and shut the door in my face. My skin instantly began to sting upon entering, bursts of pain shooting through my nerves as the blaze licked at my legs.
Company, fall in.
Tongues of flame began to blacken my uniform as Kimiko shouted. Searing pain jolted through me as violent, blistering welts started forming on my exposed skin.
Research officer, you have served honorably aboard the Everett during your short time with us. Company, salute.
The entire line saluted in unison, except for the Vogels. The pair of them simply fixed on me with a wicked glare. The shadows cast by the flames played over their faces, lending them a demonic aspect. The flames danced across my skin, bringing with them a new bout of torment. Animalistic howls racked my body as I shrieked, unable to bear the pain any longer. My charred skin was starting to slow off, separating from the muscles underneath in dry flakes that were virtually indistinguishable from burnt scraps of paper. I clamped my eyes shut, sickened at the sight of myself. The putrid smell of my own burning hair and flesh mixed with the smoke, pouring off my flaming body, forced its way down my throat and scalding my lungs. I began to cough violently in a vain attempt to expel smoke from my lungs, struggling for breath between fits of coughing. Like a fish out of water, I desperately gasped for air, but there was nothing left to breathe. Amid that blazing inferno, some part of my mind dimly realized that I was asphyxiating. The disgusting squelching and sizzling sounds of fat and muscle roasted as it cooked underneath seemed so far away. As my consciousness faded to black, the last thing I ever heard was the sound of my agonized screams ricocheting through the room, wordlessly pleading for death. Wow, that was intense. But we didn't get anything from it. What is this one here on Chapter 1? I guess we'll jump in there and see if we can change... Oh, that might be whether we're a boy or a girl? No. Can't be. Well, we'll find out when I get to it. Oh, it must be this here. Should we try fresh air? As fresh as it gets on a spaceship? We did hot shower last time, didn't we? Let's do a snack. Maybe that'll change it. Everyone knew you couldn't work on an empty stomach, and I was no different. A little snack would give my brain the boost it needed to get really working on this deletion game dilemma. Unfortunately, I'd have to sneak into the kitchen. After all, it wasn't mealtime yet. After making my way silently down the hall, I finally reached the kitchen. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, I slipped inside, and I was surprised by my own skills, and quite impressed. I'm the greatest secret agent slash ninja that ever lived. Name's Bond. Hanzo Bond. I cautiously made my way to the fridge. When I opened the door, I could see some recently picked fruit, apples, bananas and strawberries all in a bowl together, about eye height at the fridge. I would have thought that the greatest secret agent slash ninja would love bananas. As I shut the fridge, with a banana clasped in my left hand, I heard something move in the herb section of the kitchen. I immediately froze. But if someone caught me stealing food, the captain would definitely throw me out the nearest airlock, but Katashi would subject me to far worse. I gulped back my fear before tentatively calling out. Is anyone there? Suddenly, laughter filled the kitchen. I recoiled from the fridge, attempting to hide the banana behind my back. A figure suddenly popped out of the herb garden.
Hanzo Bond bananas, are you trying to kill me?
Shizuka made her way towards me, clutching her stomach as she laughed uncontrollably. I need to play it cool and come up with something fast. Hey Shizuka, what are you doing here?
The same thing as you, silly.
Stealing food. You're also a secret agent slash ninja?
Ha! I sure am. Seriously though, I was just hungry.
Is this stealing food against the rules?
Is it? Then why do you have a banana?
Oh no, Hanzo Bond has been caught by their arch nemesis.
How nice of you to join me, Mr. Bond. Now, hand over Mr. Snuggles.
Mr. Snuggles?
Stop playing dumb with me, Mr. Bond, and hand over my banana.
Shizuka reached her hand out and signaled she wanted the banana. Even if I did, you'd just kill me anyway.
Oh, Mr. Bond, I'm going to kill you regardless.
Aren't you forgetting something? I leaned in and whispered the unspoken question. What's your name?
Oh yeah, I'll be... Dr. Niji, evil mastermind and rainbow enthusiast.
I cleared my throat and started again. Aren't you forgetting something, Dr. Niji?
Don't think you can play such childish games with me, Mr. Bond. Now then, the banana, if you please.
As Shizuka inched closer to me, I started backing up along the kitchen counters, running my free hand along them to find an item. I need a stall. Ah yes, the banana. I found one. It felt like a canister or something. That would do the trick. I wrapped my fingers around it and tried to get a better grip. Kawarimi Jutsu. I threw the canister towards Shizuka. She instinctively grabbed it, buying me just enough time to flee the kitchen. I'll get you next time, Miss Dr. Fiji, Dr. Niji. I fled to my room with the banana, where I ate it in secret. I sat and thought for quite some time about how to address our deletion game problem, but in the end I came up short. I got the distinct impression I would need the rest of the crew's help if I wanted to work this out. Even though I'd just eaten a light snack, my stomach was still growling. It was about time for breakfast, so I decided to head over to the dining hall a little early. I made my way into the dining hall. As I entered, I was greeted with familiar faces. Oh, this is old one. So I guess that isn't the thing we needed to do?
In fact...
Alright, well, I guess we'll have to reload and change the choice. Alright, let's see if we can die in these bidding war ones. We haven't managed to die in any of these yet either. Alright, we just give ourselves 0 points every time, and that should work, right? Alright,
Thank you
we'll
for
just
your
keep giving ourselves 0.
Let's move.
Yeah, keep going. Oh shit, I don't know what I just did.
If you... Let's move on to...
0.
Well, Team A, I guess 2 kinds of congratulations are needed.
Here we go.
Not only did you lose, but you couldn't even lose properly and have more than one person coming last. So, congratulations?
Thank you.
Do you all just want to die that badly?
Yes, I was desperately trying to die.
Either way, you know the rules. Time's up.
Di pretended to salute poorly.
You will go down with the ship as all good captains should, and you will be remembered for your sacrifice. Well, I gotta tell you, this is very disappointing. I expected great things out of you. But rules are rules, and you've been chosen. The fates have conspired. Luck is not on your side. The odds were not in your favor.
Yes, shut up! I wonder how many ways Di had of telling me I'd lost. We all knew that. It didn't seem quite real. I was dazed, standing in the dining hall listening to Di, but at the same time I wasn't there. I was outside my body looking at myself.
Stop dragging it out. It isn't fair.
You want to die sooner rather than later?
Well,
the sooner you're gone, the sooner we get to the new game. Let's spin that wheel.
I came back to myself enough that I was looking out of my own eyes that Di's big wheel of murder appeared. She blinked at me before reaching out and pretending to spin it. It spun fast like a blur. Di kept pretending like it was real, like she wasn't in control of everything. Then the wheel started to slow. The text legible as one death after another flipped past the indicator, some of them clear and other ambiguous. Drowning in disintegration, the squeeze.
Ooh, it's slowing down now. Anyone want to put a bet down?
Di's suggestion was met with angry glares.
Just trying to lighten the mood. And we have a winner!
The wheel had stopped. Big red arrow pointing to my fate.
Airlock aeroplane! Congratulations! You're going to enjoy a quiet, relaxing time out in open space.
Same old airlock death.
No suit, obviously.
Would it hurt? I tried to remember as much as I could about vacuums. It would be like running out of air. Wouldn't be like running out of air slowly. I'd go straight from oxygenated environment to total vacuum. That had to damage the body, right? Maybe I'd die before I ran out of air.
To the airlock.
Though she could easily have vanished and reappeared at the airlock, Di preferred to lead us there herself, pretending to be a tour guide. How many ways are we gonna die here?
You'll see the door to the kitchen. On your left, a blank wall. Very thrilling. Keep moving, and we're walking. Well now, ladies and gentlemen, this is very exciting. It looks like we'll be getting a glimpse of the infamous engineering bay. Unfortunately, we can't stop the tour here, so just take a peek as we're walking.
Okay. We arrived at the airlock.
Here we are at our destination. Who would like to hear a long story about the history of the airlocks?
I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do.
It's not your fault, you did your best.
You became a part of the crew so fast. Even while Di was trying to pit us all against each other.
We won't forget that.
Jan, I thought you didn't want to stall.
He has been with this crew such a short time, but he became a part of us. He was kind, generous, and always willing to pitch in and help. He served with honor, and we will honor him for it.
This is it was real. Now I was confronted directly with death. I actually felt pretty calm about it. Maybe because there was nothing left to do, no reason to fight, no plea I could make. I was about to die and everything was out of my control.
Alright, let's get on with this. Time's ticking by. I got places to be, people to kill.
The airlock door opened with a hiss, and I took a step towards it. I don't think you need to do that. Then I turned around. It felt right somehow. After what she said about me, I saluted the captain.
Officer, you have served the Everett well, and we thank you for your service. Salute.
As I stepped backwards into the airlock, I could see the rest of the crew standing there in a salute. I'm sorry I failed everyone. This wasn't real. This wasn't happening. But it was, and from the speakers I heard the overhead systems count down. Airlock secured. External door opening in 3, 2, what? Door opening. Game over. Cool. Time for the next death. We'll hit this one. Alright, now in this one we're just gonna, like before, give ourselves 0 over and over again until we lose. Let's go with that one. Let's go with it. And yeah, move on to the next one. Is that a tie, is it?
Team A, you are...
The skipping doesn't work properly. It must be the updates that are messing up the skipping. This one again.
Thank you.
So we've got 0 and Yoshiki's got 0.
Let's move.
Just stick with that. Oh, we can't do that. A tie? After 3 rounds? Dai started looking concerned.
Maybe my game design is still flawed. Although this could happen, I'd have rather it didn't.
Dai's mood suddenly broke from concern to pure delight, speaking to herself in the third person.
Don't worry, Dai. You can celebrate with 2 executions and try harder in the next game. Isn't that right, Yoshiki?
Yoshiki looked confused for a moment as to why he was being called upon, but reverted back to his clumsy self.
You can't bake a cake without breaking a few eggs.
The captain rolled her eyes at how simple Yoshiki could be sometimes.
Right you are, Yoshiki. The captains are just unfortunate enough to be the eggs this time. Alright. Last in, first out, just like my mom used to say. You get to be executed first.
Well, I mean, we didn't lose, but we still get to die, so
I am
that's all good.
executing your best friend, and you want me to explain my genealogy?
No. I mean,
Yes?
please don't kill my best friend.
For you, Yoshiki, anything.
Really?
No, not really, you twit. Now for the fun part. Don't go anywhere, Kitashi, and be a good patient boy. I'll come back to you shortly, but please don't take away from the execution, okay?
I wouldn't dream of it.
Dai smiled at Kitashi. Dai materialized the wheel in front of her and it started spinning immediately. Her eyes widened as she watched it spin. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh, how boring. Today you will be executed by asphyxiation.
You can't complain about it You can't complain about it being boring when you're the one who set the fucking deaths on the wheel, stupid. Asphyxiation?
Oh, you don't know what that means? Let me help
Suffocation. Dai clutched her throat, a look of mock terror plastered on her face. We're a scientist, aren't we?
Can't breathe.
Dai, I know what it means.
Well, why didn't you say so? Now I've gone and made an embarrassment of myself with my little charade.
Don't worry, you're always an embarrassment. It looked like you were enjoying yourself from where I was standing.
You got me. Acting out your agonizing death was a lot of fun. So, where would you like it to happen?
I get a choice?
You're right. That does seem unfair. Who's the closest to you?
Yoshiki did his best to avoid eye contact with Dai, but it was no use.
Everyone, move out to Yoshiki's room.
Die! No!
Hope you don't have any dirty underwear lying around, Yoshiki. I have delicate sensibilities, after all.
Before Yoshiki could reply, Dai became irritated.
I said now, people.
We shuffled out towards Yoshiki's room. He didn't leave my side the entire way, attempting to comfort me on the way.
Well, on the bright side,
Go on. Let's hear it.
it couldn't be that horrible, as far as deaths go, if your parents did it to you already.
As someone who has experienced it, I find that hard to agree with. Yoshiki's voice was breaking as he attempted to remain positive despite the situation.
But you aren't being set on fire or anything as horrible as that.
We did that already just before. We let out a large sigh as we arrived at Yoshiki's room. I guess you're right, thank you, Yoshiki.
Here we are, folks. Alrighty. If you would, please step this way. Oh, watch your step. Wouldn't want to fall and hurt yourself, would you?
Dai smiled wickedly in my direction as I stepped into Yoshiki's room, and the door was closed behind me. Through the window in the door, I could see the crew looking on and hearing them through the intercom system.
I'm so sorry.
Yoshiki's voice was no longer holding back. I could hear him sob as he struggled to speak. Officer Sasaki's quarters locked. I heard the captain attempting to console him as she began to speak.
You have been a positive contribution to this ship and its crew, and I thank you for your service.
I felt a smile crawl across my face at her words. Oxygen levels decreasing. I thought to myself, I guess I'll get to see you sooner than later, Mum and Dad. Mum, Dad, I'm just sorry that I didn't finish your work. I hope you can forgive me.
They love you. Please tell my parents I will be there shortly.
Yoshiki! You are not dying, you hear me?
I could no longer speak. Breathing was difficult. I could breathe in, but I felt like there was nothing there. I was breathing in nothing. I tried not to panic, but my body had other ideas. I began grasping to each breath, hoping to get any oxygen. My chest felt painfully tight, like it was being compressed from the outside. We've done this before. I looked up and saw the captain at the door and reached for her before I lost consciousness. Boom! That's another one down. Alright. Jordan 0, Nicholas 0.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Next. The skipping's working now.
Let's move on, team.
Kind of.
A ties.
A tie.
Yoshiki. Alright.
That one.
Let's move on to round 3 then.
Here we go. Jordan 0, Nicholas 3. I guess 2 kinds of congratulations are needed. Not only did you lose, but you couldn't even lose properly and have more than one person coming last. There you go. So congratulations. Do you want to die that badly?
Either way, you know the rules. Time's up.
Let's do it. Dai pretended to salute poorly. We'll go down with the ship as all good captains should, and you'll be remembered for your sacrifice.
Well, I gotta tell you, this is very
Yeah, I heard it
but
before.
Rules are
How are we gonna
rules,
die?
And you've been chosen. The fates have
Oh my god, not this again. Alright, what's
You wanna
next?
die well, the sooner
Is it going to be the same?
Let's.
I feel like it's going to be the same.
Ooh, it's just
Let's
trying.
see.
Airlock aeroplane.
It is the same. Alright, well we'll just skip through this
And now if you look to your cape move, well,
Yoshiki and Katashi both hung back to come level with me.
I'm so sorry.
This is a bit different at least.
This isn't fair. That game made it impossible to strategize.
Bestie, I'm going to miss you.
You put an arm around Yoshiki. It's okay. You live without me for 25 whole years of life. It'll be a nice memory for you. It won't even seem real by the time you grow old. Yoshiki started to cry and made no attempt to disguise
I
it.
don't want you to ever not feel real.
Don't worry about it, man. We arrived at the
here
airlock.
we are at our destination. Who would like
No. No.
yawn? I thought you didn't want.
It's going to be the same. Oh, the pocket watch. We've got the pocket watch. We can give it to someone? Give it to Yoshiki. Here, Yoshiki, this is for you to remember me by. Yoshiki was still crying, apparently unable to move. Kimiko reached out and took the watch from my hand. I'll look after it.
All right, let's get on with this. Time's ticking by. I got places to be, people to kill.
I got to give the watch away. Yoshiki's an engineer. He's more likely to be able to find something to do with it than Mr. Space Farmer's got. Off we go. You've served the Everett well, and we thank you for your service. Salute. Tears were streaming down Yoshiki's face, and Katashi stood still, his face absent of feeling. That made me feel worse somehow, like it was my fault. I'm sorry I failed, everyone. This wasn't real, it wasn't happening, but it was. And from the speakers I overheard the system countdown. Airlock secured, external door opening in 3, 2, 1. Same again. But we've done all our deaths now, as far as I'm aware. And the next one we're going to go to the girl side and start running through these ones, which is going to take quite some time, I imagine, but hopefully we can get some more of the words, because we still don't have any more. Espera, per, and nothing else. Nothing else, which is pretty unfortunate. But we will figure it out maybe after we do the girl ones. Till then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.